There is only one food on this miserable island. People live on sardines all their lives. They eat it steamed, fried, boiled. They eat it dried. They make it into candy. They even eat it raw. The taste has not changed for 100 years. It is the same bad taste. But there was a talented young man. He wanted to change all this. He wanted to invent a machine. A machine that can turn water into any food. First find a partner designed draw diagram to study microfusion. Then the radiation matrix. Start the computer painting. The job is done. The boy starts the machine. A prototype of a burger actually appeared. But at the critical moment it exploded. The power grid in the house went down instantly. It turns out that the voltage at home is not enough this time. He moved the machine to the power plant, plugged in. He started it up and with a bang the machine started to fly. It crashed across the room, smashing the sardine town into a mess. Did he fail? Suddenly something fell into the trash can. The boy looked over and saw it was a piece of cheese. Suddenly there was a sound from behind. The boy turned his head and his mouth opened wide and surprised. The girl was also Monkey, the mayor. The whole town's mouth was wide open in amazement. In the distance a large colorful cloud drifted slowly and accompanied by a localized rainstorm. But it wasn't water, it was hamburg. It was a hamburger. Rain burgers are falling from the sky. One bite and you can still eat it. The boy's invention was a success and the whole town was abuzz with excitement. This time they abandoned sardines for good breakfast. The town rained bacon and eggs, partially accompanied by a downpour of orange juice. Lunch. It's bacon and ham and fish in the sky, with hail of donuts and ice cream, snow turning the town into a tricolored ice cream, and finally a waterfall of thousands of rainbow candies. He fed the whole town on his own, in the face of all the food that could not be eaten. The boy also invented the robot of out of sight, out of mind to collect the excess food and threw it into the distant mountains. Everyone admired the boy, but the boy's father was determined to get the boy to turn off the food machine to work with him in the sardine store. But the boy doesn't want to. But the invention did have one drawback, that is, the islanders are significantly fatter. One day the boy invites his father to dinner eating a steak made by machine. The food was already too big for its size. The father continued to urge him to turn off the machine. The boy left in anger after not wanting to. When he returned home in the evening, the boy angrily complained about his father. He complained that he was being personal. Suddenly a giant hot dog fell from the sky and awakened his anger. It was then that he noticed the food size had indeed become somewhat abnormal. Back in the lab, Danger Needle had reached yellow. He was about to shut down the machine. But the mayor came out from afar saying that if he turned off the machine, he would lose everything. He becomes a loser again. He hesitated. Special tornado has suddenly hit the town. It consisted of millions of spaghetti that had wreaked havoc on the town. The food machine is malfunctioning. Piles of French fries fell from the sky. Bigger meatballs came crashing down on his head. The boy rushed to turn off the food machine, but a pair of big hands strangled him. The mayor, wanting to make a name for himself, he didn't want the machine to be turned off. The boy breaks free and rushes to the button. The mayor also throws out a carrot bomb. The boy turns around and slaps the button, but the radish bomb blew up the transmitter. Now it is impossible to control the food machine remotely. In another 20 minutes, the food storm will hit the world. New York, Paris, even Taiwan. The entire northern hemisphere will be on the table. And sure enough, huge watermelons fall from the sky, blowing up factories. Giant donuts attacked passers-by, macaroni, and cheese. Sprayed directly on people's heads, even the school was destroyed by the pie. The town is in pain. The boy comes up with a solution. He invented a flying car and goes around the town looking for help. Eventually the girl he had a crush on a giant who was less than 2 meters tall. A monkey and a baby. They set out on a journey to save the world. They drive to the center of a storm. A giant meatball keeps excreting a lot of food down there. When they get close to the meatball, a pizza split into 9 and starts chasing several people. They rush through a fruit tunnel. Giant donut finally losing the pizza killer. They have to jump into the center of the storm, find the machine and shut it down. Inside, it's a dark place first, like the marshmallow torches, a tunnel made entirely of food. On the way there is fried chicken, fries river. If you're not careful, you'll fall into the hot boiling oil. After they struggle to get through. Accident happened before the pile of food sea broke up. Hundreds of millions of tons of food swept through the town, like assuming they were running out of time. But they encountered a new problem. The hull was crawling with dense roast chicken. Giant roast chicken swallowed the fat man in front of him in one bite. Then countless giant chickens approached them. They were getting on the boy's nerves when the roast chicken on the side suddenly became grotesque. After a struggle on the ground, a head burst out. He took control of the chicken from the inside. He became the chicken man and started to fight with the roast chicken around. They finally had a chance to run away, but the peanut butter thorns stopped them again. They are running out of time. Donuts are raining down over New York, there's tons of mustard falling from the sky, and the Tower of Paris in France was pelted with bread and lettuce. Bacon and the Presidential Hill has been hit by Oreos. Hot tea rained down over England, people's umbrellas were melted and the Great Wall of China, a giant corn rolled down from the sky. But because the heroine was allergic to peanut candy, the boy had to be let down. Just as the boy was put down, an earthquake shaking, the heroine's arm was peanut candy pierced. The arm immediately swelled up in order not to let the girl he loved suffer. The boy bite off the twine candy and fell down himself. He found the evil food machine. It was still raining food. The boy quietly approached the machine. The sensitive machine soon spotted him. It fired corn missiles directly at him. A manhunt ensues. Fortunately, the boy pretended to be a hot dog to escape a disaster. Such a sensitive machine. How to approach it? The boy pulled out the prawns, tied them with sausages flung on the donut, waiting for the machine to dump the food. He swung right out. He ties up the food machine, plugged in and turned off the flash drive. The result: the flash drive was taken by mistake. The food machine broke free of its bonds to deliver a fatal blow to him. In a panic, the boy looked at his shoes, then pulled out the styptic spray. The machine did break down with a huge shockwave of food. The meatball exploded and the boy's life is not yet known. At the same time, the food cloud over the country also directly dissipated when the flying car came down. Boy's father found no sound of his son's voice, looked very lost, but just as he was grieving, a cloud of mouse birds descended from the sky. They saved the boy. Eventually, the boy became a great hero. Live a happy life without shame.